All right, let's get it. Joe, bro, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome.
So first question I have for you is, who are you?
My name is Joe Riley. I am a conceptualist, a visionary, big brother, a mentor, a gallery manager, a bunch of different things. I have my hands in a bunch of different bags, but altogether, I am All Motion Studio.
All Motion, I like that. So part of my motivation for doing this series of videos is to map out the art that's going on around me that resonates with me, right? So I make t-shirts. I've been doing this since I was 16, screen printing. I turned 26 like this week, right? So
dope. Happy belated.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I just found myself being like so focused on making a shirt or finishing a shirt or whatever I'm doing, that I wasn't taking time to love the process, you know? And that's like an important part of things. I just didn't love it enough, right? And it hurt the art. So like after taking a step back, I realized that like being a fan and aware of what's going on around you is a part of loving the art or whatever that you're doing. And I've definitely gotten this a lot, like in these conversations, right?
Yeah.
And a part of being a fan and aware is being present, right? So hence the name Something Now, right? Serving as like a snapshot of like what's going on right now and like the people and things that I'm like interested in, right? So that's kind of the basis of this conversation. It's kind of what I like want to get into with you today, like local art, where you see it as being now and also where you would like to see it be, right? To benefit everyone around you.
Yeah.
So that's where I'll start, right? So what do you see as your contribution to like the local art scene? What do you want to add, a new perspective, a roadmap, you know, where you're at?
Yeah. Right now, I'm really interested in kind of setting a new standard per se of like how can we create, how can we include everybody while also nurturing and sharing ideas. That's kind of what I'm really interested in right now. Like, how can we say no to things per se that don't align with us, and how can we really make something impactful? My main goal right now is, I've been using the word distill a lot. Like, I want to really distill what we are as Detroit, what we are as a scene or an art or design perspective of like, okay, where does our energy come from? And pulling that together and presenting it not only to people in Detroit, but around the whole world.
So you kind of see yourself as someone like making connections, putting this person in connection with that person so that they can, you know, build something off.
Exactly. Like helping people understand that everything is more parallel than it is here or there. You know, like sometimes I think about the concept of like, sometimes again, like people think that engineering is over here, or like this is higher, there's a hierarchy of things, when in reality, like there's little strings that connect a lot of these things together that are very similar. And so I want to show that through experiences, through exhibitions, through whatever we can visually storytell, to help individuals understand that. Because I think like that's just going to continue to catapult us all forward.
I like that. And like when we talk about you curating exhibitions and such, All Motion Studios is really your outlet for that, right? So we gotta start there, right?
Yeah.
So what is All Motion Studios? Start there.
Yeah, so it is it's an ever-growing thing. Right now we consider ourselves an agency, but there's around seven people that I mainly work with, whether it's fashion designers, fabricators, graphic designers, whatever sort of thing needs to happen for us to conceptualize and make these things happen. So like, for instance, yesterday we just did a dinner, or not a dinner, we did a dessert activation called Just Desserts for M Contemporary. And so I had one of my friends, shouts out Peso, make these desserts. And there was another member, her name is Thalia, she's the executive producer. She did the arrangements on the table and kind of just bring that energy of like fun, inviting, and so yeah, I also explained it as like a vehicle per se. You know, like I'll be driving one time, or Nick will be driving one time, or Filipino Spaghetti might be driving one time. It's just a matter of how can we get to where we want to get to in this vehicle.
And I like the acronym as a vehicle. I think that really makes your point heard. Right?
Yeah.
As a vehicle, it may be like your car or someone else's car, but anybody can drive it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all trying to go to the same place. Kind of like, maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like tying back to the point that you just made about everything being parallel. We're all going in the same direction. We're all running the same line.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what do you enjoy most about kind of approaching it as a vehicle? It's kind of in the community sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. That
What do you
the
enjoy
communal
most?
aspect of it. I think something we were talking about earlier was interesting. What you asked me was like, why did you think of it that way? And it's, when I built or created or conceptualized All Motion Studio, I built it out of necessity for the city. It was never meant for me. Like I'm interested in a ton of different things. And so the idea of creating something that isn't tied directly to who I am and can also be shown through other individuals being interested in it, I think is more impactful than me just saying I'm an individual Joe Riley artist and designer. Like I've been working in Detroit for close to 14 years now. And so I've seen the different cycles of a scarcity mentality versus an abundance mentality, which is where we're in right now, thankfully. And I felt that it was necessary to build something that people can not only believe in, but also want to stay for, in a sense. Like it's a lot of the best creators in the city often leave because you get to a certain point where you just kind of feel uninspired, because there's only so many parties or activations or like whatever. There's only so much you can do before it's just like it feels a little bit stale. And so that's kind of I was like, okay, how can I create something that can get us wherever it needs to go to, whether it's land, sea, air, like it's a vehicle. It's not a car. It's not this or that. It's meant to just get us where we all want to go, or, the city in general too. So.
And like what infrastructure or systems, like to what you're saying, to keep people here, what infrastructures or systems like would you like to see be in place, right?
Yeah.
It's built by people in the community.
And it's more like it's like a mentality in a way. I talked about it earlier. It's like we want to set a new standard of like how can we engage genuinely, and how can we realize the power that each of us have as individuals, whether it's as a collector or a person that's interested in it. Like we all are kind of like on this rock together. So how can we express and connect in a genuine way? So yeah, like that's something I definitely want to say with the new standard. Because I think you were talking about it earlier about love, and loving something. And a part of love is tough love. Like there might be a situation where we have to say no to something or no to somebody because it doesn't align with the standards or the ideas that we have, and it's like, that's what I really want people to realize too, is like, how can we, again, set that new standard and that new stage for the world, like, because honestly, the world is watching us right now. Everybody's really interested in what's happening to Detroit. We've been through the mud, been through the worst parts of what it could be, and now it's this resurgence, this renaissance. And so people are really interested in what we do next. And that's what I'm interested in doing, is leading and mentoring the newer generations or whoever it may be to take up that role as like a leader.
You're trying to really focus on like the social aspect of things within like artists. So kind of helping to change the mentality. I like that you mentioned from scarcity to abundance.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Just that sense of community and like collective engagement will give way to the infrastructures or systems as like the art and the passion for it evolves within.
Exactly, because it's all mental, honestly. Like art design is very much a mental sort of situation. So if we don't change the mentality first and foremost, nothing ever. There's not like a system per se that you can put into place and be like, this is yes, or like this is just because we have a space or whatever it may be. Like that isn't gonna change or grow the overall mentality. It's like we have to start with ourselves. It's like the old saying of you have to clean your room first before you have anything else to say. It's like, yeah, we can say this or that, but how can we utilize that in just our everyday life? So yeah,
that makes complete sense. I like the way you articulate that. So what led you to want to be on the curation side right now as opposed to the creation side of things, right? So wanting to hold this sort of position within art spaces rather than, hey, this is my painting or my t-shirt or my sculpture, right? So
I'm a huge proponent of like necessity. That was one of the first words or concepts that I kind of like pondered on. It's like, what is necessary? And right now it's necessary for me to curate and express my ideas through these experiences more so than it is like actually creating a piece, which I mean, I'll do now and then, I'll drop shirts or I'll work with individuals that, where I can sprinkle my ideas and make things come to life. But I also realized like I really flourish in a collaborative setting. So the more that I can curate and collaborate with other individuals, the more that it creates a bigger wave per se, because I forget what Virgil said exactly, but it was, it's a wave. Everything's in waves and you either catch the wave or you don't. So I'm really interested in like creating big waves, and like practicing with my team, practicing with people that are involved to like continue to catch these big waves. And then eventually we'll make our own. So that's what really kind of drove me to curation right now, at least, is necessity. It needs to happen. I need to be the one that steps forward and tries things out. Like I've have experience in a multitude of different industries and experiences that I feel like I know I can add to the conversation.
It makes complete sense. I like that you're like, I have an idea of what I want the space to look like. And you took a step back and evaluated where you would fit best in that versus, considering what everyone else is doing and everything, all the moving pieces, you said, okay, I would be best placed here, and you went with that.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's probably places I want or prefer to go or would like to do, but that isn't always what's best for the overall vision. Like it's longevity. Like that's what I always say too, is like, how can like I see myself doing this until the day I'm in the ground? Like how can I continue to sustain this idea in this movement for the long run? This isn't just something that is a side hustle for me, or like it's just a hobby. It's like this is how I live, this is how I want to live, and I want other people to also that want to live this way can get in the car or get in the vehicle and learn and make it happen.
And like, what challenges have you encountered like on this journey? I'll keep with like the vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, obviously time and resources are like the biggest challenges. It's like, there's not enough time in the day to get stuff done, or, I'm working right now or I'm doing things Monday through Sunday. So those are like kind of the biggest challenges so far. And then, I mean, articulation, things you learn throughout time, like there's this idea that every time we start a new project, I call it like we're practicing, like even though we're in the game, but like we're practicing towards something. So yeah, I mean, just again, especially right now in Detroit, there's resources and things out there if you want to go get it. But yeah, time and money, like that's the biggest challenge. Is everything else kind of aligns when you're acting true to yourself and you're really like, again, like you kind of become a magnet, you know, and that's why I've learned just through the people that walk in the studio and say, hey, I'm interested in being part of this, is they've picked up on certain cues, and I've magnetized the studio and myself to like really align with the same individuals that have that same mentality. And it blows my mind every day too. You know, like I'm like, whoa, like we really do think the same, or we really do kind of have the same idea of like ethics and ideologies and stuff. So that, again, like acting true to yourself is only going to help those challenges in the long run, which when building foundation. Yeah.
So that's how you kind of overcome them, by putting out the energy you want to attract, and then
Exactly.
that community helps you find ways around the time constraints, the money constraints.
Yeah, exactly. And shit, I mean, I'm willing to hold out as long as possible. You know, it's definitely not been easy. There's been times where, you know, I've had a good chunk of change in the bank, and then there's been times where I've been negative, or you know, but you just hold on, and you just like, you realize you're working towards something bigger, and then eventually everything else catches up. You know, like I always say, like money is like it's like a byproduct of hard work, and so if you just keep holding out and keep doing it, like those sort of things will just naturally sort of follow if you put the systems, or you know, the checks and balances in place to like make sure you're able to catch that wave, you know. So.
And you mentioned like you put this energy out with All Motion, and people will just naturally be attracted to All Motion, to the studio. They'll come in and talk to you and say, hey, how do I get involved?
Yeah.
Like, is that usually how you source people to work with and interact with? Is just genuine, hey, I saw what you did and I like that, so
yeah,
how can I?
Pretty much. I mean, like I have these experiences and individuals that come up to me or anybody, and they voice their opinions, or like voice their desire to like work or whatever, you know, like I'm down, I'm open. Like I'm always the type of individual, it's like, let's give at least, we always offer one chance, you know, like let's try something out, and if it doesn't work, that's okay too. But most times that kind of stuff only happens through lack of communication or lack of like understanding. And again, that's where like tough love, clear communication really come into key, man. Is like, if we can't have that sort of those simple things in line, then everything's gonna crumble, man. You know, like it's just impossible. But yeah, just through the events, through the experiences, people come through, they gravitate, they enjoy, and then if I see the work and peep it, man, like this, I think you would be great over here, you'd be great over there, so like let's just do it, you know, like why not, you know, like that's always something we always ask ourselves too, is like why not? And then from that question, it's reverse engineered into, okay, this is why, obviously. So
Yeah. And then to like, as we like wrap up, are there any last words that you have to anyone who, or like advice that you have to anyone that's wanting to hold a similar position as you, or saying, hey, maybe I would be good in the curation or connection role? Yeah. So is there anything?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like understand first off, like emotions, like how complex emotions are. Like when I was talking about tough love, for instance, or love in general, it could be love as in like you love this thing, or it could be tough love to where like, yo, I love it so much to where I have to let it go or let something go. Realize there's always two sides to everything, and find out where that medium is to where things can still connect. And that honestly, like, you can do it too. You know, hard work, dedication, don't give up. Like that's the name of the game. We hear it all the time. Like that's something you hear constantly on YouTube or any of these motivational sort of speeches or, you know, video, whatever it may be. You hear, oh yeah, you know, do this, do that. But it's like, it's going to be hard. Don't give up.
I like that. So we'll end it there. Joe, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Likewise.